can't even make a terrible joke about that.
Which is surprising because Joe has performed his tight 5 minutes for me a couple times. We've workshopped it together.
Oh man, dude, I mean, there's so many New York City bits getting added to that. Dude, that Subway, oh my God, the rat bit's going right in. The rat bit is going right the fuck in.
Here's is actually something that I do want to get into you with.
Okay.
We end up talking about like mentioning different stand-ups kind of all the time just because. And when here's what really gets my goat is sometimes I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, "Oh, that's so funny. That's going to be a great bit."
Yeah.
If you ever do stand-up again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But a story is not a bit."
It can be. What do you think stand-up comedy is, Andrew?
I agree. It's a lot of storytelling.
No, but here's the thing.
And this is coming from the guy who did stand-up comedy.
But the bit part of it.
Listen to me right now. I just want to be clear. When you are doing stand-up and you are telling a story, you have to put jokes into the story. You can't just tell a story.
Sure.
A story on its own is not a bit.
But if you're a good storyteller, that's how you tell a story to begin with.
Then you can add jokes in there. That's not what you've done.
Are you kidding me? I'll tell you one right now.
Go ahead and try the rat bit. I'm doing air quotes for the folks at home. Go ahead and do the rat bit for us right now.
I don't know if
Ladies and gentlemen, his first appearance on the Tonight Show. Joe Dorato, you know him. You know him from film.
Magic Joe.
You know him as Magic Joe. You know him from the Lucy and Desi Comedy Hour. He's making his Tonight Show first appearance today.
I don't know if I want to do
this.
Here
he is.
I feel like I'm getting bullied.
Yep, and I'm sorry for that.
No, well, can I just tell the rat? Can I tell the rat story?
No, yeah. We'll tell the rat bit.
I'll just tell
the rat bit. Yeah.
So, I'll tell the rat story, and then I'll say it how I would say it if I was on stage.
Okay, interesting. Okay. This is gonna be fun.
Well, see this? I have an idea. Let's just condense that all into one and just tell it like you were on stage.
No, this could be interesting though.
Okay,
let's
see the discrepancies in how he tells the story.
You have the floor for the next, as long as it takes you to tell both of these things. Go ahead.
Okay.
But
what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't interrupt him.
Turn my mic off.
Okay. Mute this. Okay, let me just. I'm parched.
And that's how you start. Yep.
Okay. Don't worry. Okay, curtains open. Johnny's sitting on the couch. Ed McMahon's already completely.
Okay,
in the
so
bag.
anyway, no, so I'm just gonna tell like a story, so there's no pressure, and then I'll do the actual bit. So, because I'm actually trying to make it up in my head as I go. So the story. I told you I was in New York City, and this is the same day as the subway trip, the Twilight Zone trip. It was a wild day. I feel like karma had it out to get me that day. I really do. So we are in the subway, and me and Taylor were just talking about like, we were just talking about like the subway and how it's dirty, and that's the whole thing with the. We were just traveling the subway all day, so we were just saying like tropes. We were like, you know what? We haven't seen a rat all like this whole trip. We haven't seen one rat. Like it's kind of crazy. And then I shit you not, that like second we actually see a rat run by us at the subway, but it wasn't that big of a rat, and it was kind of far from us, and it wasn't running towards us or anything. It was like kind of across. We're like, okay, like that's, I was like, wow, that's actually, you hear all these stories about these big subway rats. That wasn't even a big rat. That was just a little rat. That was just a baby rat right there. That was a mouse, if anything. I've seen mouses that size. So anyways, hours pass at this point. We're in the middle of the street in Brooklyn. This is after the subway situation, the Twilight Zone subway situation. So we already went through that experience. We're on the phone with this one landlord guy, or this agent guy. He's like kind of talking us through how to get into this one place. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this fucking giant ass rat runs from the street at my feet and runs into a trash can, knocked over trash can. And I just hear it go like it's, and I thought it was a fucking small cat. It was so fucking big, and it was so scary. It just ran right at me. I had like a scream just come out of my mouth, like on like just not even like thinking about it. What's the word? Uncontrollable. Is that the word? I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
It was fucking and yeah, that it was so yeah, had it out for me, and that was the New York City rat coming for me. That he heard me and he had to get me.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. They weren't. That rat's not that impressive.
Yeah. So the bit would be so I was with my bits I always talk like this.
Yeah. It's the best. It's basically Dice Clay. It's very good.
I don't know if you ever heard one of my bits before.
We can tell one of the very famous ones after.
Oh yeah, the overpriced store.
That's basically the whole thing.
The overpriced store is a pretty good one. So anyways,
but yeah, we'll talk about that.
So anyway, no. So I would be like, I was walking around New York City. When you go in the subway car. It's dirty. You hear about these big rats in New York City. That's what you always hear about, these big rats, and you repeat things a lot. These big rats, and then we're in the subway, and the first rat I ever saw. Smallest rat, baby rat. Wasn't even. You couldn't even. It was. What was that? Mouse? Is that a mouse? These New York City rats. These so-called rats, so small, like a mouse. Well. See,
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
Go. Oh my God, Joe.
Oh Jesus!
Go ahead, please continue.
Well,
you can't when the audience is when they go crazy at your stuff, you can't let that face yourself. Oh my God!
Jesus Christ! Okay, I gotta get back on it. Get back on it.
Well.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ! You made me lose it. Okay, well. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, when I tell you that few hours later, I saw something come at me, at my feet, out of nowhere, ba-bam! And I thought it was a small cat. I could have swore it was a small cat. This thing was a rat. When I say it was a rat, it was a rat. The biggest rat you've ever seen at my feet. I thought I was going to die. I let out the biggest scream out of nowhere. And I was on the phone with someone at the time. So they just heard me fucking scream out of nowhere. And it was just like, and anyways, yeah, I thought I was going to die. It came right at my feet. It just fucking foam in its mouth, just coming right at me. And yeah, that's the last time I ever diss a New York City rat, because they will find you and come after you. That would be the bit.
Crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
You get a development
That's my
deal.
closer.
You have your own
That's my
sitcom. It
closer.
runs for 9 years.
That's my closer.
Netflix special.
Netflix special. The whole 9 yards.
Oh, did I tell you? Didn't we talk about what my Netflix special would be called? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. We've tossed
though.
around a few good names
Yeah.
before that, but another one of Joe's. When I first became familiar with Joe's unique stand-up
This
style,
was the first bit.
This was the very first
Yeah.
one. We were
Years ago.
at Fredonia, and we were walking into like where the like the school store is or whatever, and
The bookstore.
Yeah.
the bookstore. Yeah. That's what they call it.
He already knows where this is going.
And my God, Joe.
It's so funny.
And Joe was like, you ever notice how everything in that store is so overpriced? I call it the overpriced store because he said that unironically to me. And I was like, Joe, I don't need to hear your tight five. I was like, that's not even a joke. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just saying what it is, and then you're calling it that.
Calling it a name.
Which is nothing.
It's funny. Yes. Also, the bit, I also got to explain really quick. The whole bit of this whole bit is also kind of meta, because the whole bit of this stand-up comedy routine that I'm making is that I'm like playing a character that thinks he can,
like a real hacky kind of fella.
that thinks he can like actually like do stand-up comedy. So, but it's not good stand-up comedy jokes. Would that actually work? No, but it's funny to think about. So the whole bit is that I'm a terrible stand-up comedian.
You know what?
Saying these jokes and I think they're hilarious.
I think that maybe, and you'll find the neighborhood in New York where you can do this.
Okay.
It'll call you there like the bat signal.
If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. I think that in certain neighborhoods, you'll be able, like, if you dressed up like Jerry Seinfeld from the 90s and then like put yourself in a glass box and did all that material and played it like a performance art piece, I think that would really get some people.
I bet it would.
I think you could do
I
that.
told
Puffy shirt
you-
style.
Puffy shirt style, whatever.
I told you. I think there is a comedy. There is a Netflix special in there somewhere. You know, it's just you gotta. You know, I got the bones for it. I just gotta get the.
You have like
the
3
rest.
minutes.
No, I don't. Overpriced store. Rush
minute,
Hour. Rush
2
Hour
minutes.
is my big. Rush Hour is my big closer. That's the big closer
That's-
right there. That's the big closer right there. Overpriced store. Rush Hour traffic.
The rat bit.
The rap bit. That's a brand new one.
Yeah, it's still being worked. Still got to work
Yeah,
that one
you know,
out in the
yeah.
clubs.
I mean, that's the first time I ever did it. What was the other one? There was one more. There's at least one more. I swear to God, there's one more.
So
What
you've
was
got
it?
about 4.5 minutes worth of material as of right now.
No. Did you see how long I made that rap bit go for?
It was
Yeah,
about,
kidding me.
it was about 1 minute and 9 seconds.